What's up, guys and gals, and happy Victoria Day to all those in Canada. It's nice to have a long weekend, but that's not the reason why we're here. We're here to talk about Ayakashi Triangle, Chapter 90, and this video is more of a correction video than anything else because I was pretty confident I had already reviewed and sent this video out. Not gonna lie, I thought I was only going to be 2 chapters behind. Now I'm going to be 3. I'm going to be 3 chapters behind if I don't start picking up the pace here. And unfortunately, unlike a chapter I could just skip, this not only had a very nice cover page that, I mean, just we need to say habada, 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 habada to, but also, besides that, is the fact that this is actually a pretty good chapter. It's actually it's a good character development chapter, and I swear to you guys, I thought I had reviewed this chapter. I read this chapter when it came out. I know I did, because I just read the chapter again, and I'm going to be reading it with you guys right now, just reviewing it, of course. But I thought I already had this review out. And I thought it, so anyways, I don't know what happened with that. Maybe I thought I did it or planned to do it, and then something got away from me. But either way, we're going to be reviewing that chapter right now, alongside of chapter 91. We're going to do chapter 90, and then we're going to do 91 as one video, and then we'll release 92 as its own separate video because it just came out yesterday. So, all right. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. So, chapter 90 of Ayakashi Triangle, right? Once again, the cover page. Let's appreciate it. Okay, enough appreciation has been done. All right, so this chapter, I really like this because Shirogane just dives right into it. We're starting to basically rehash everything that we know, but also get into exactly what is happening. And little Suzu ends up explaining all of it later on, is that Shirogane basically said, so what's happening is that there's basically 3 Suzus. Shadow Mai, the Suzu we know, and the little girl inside of Suzu, who apparently is the third personality, the Ayakashi medium inside of Suzu, who's keeping all the memories from Suzu. She's the child, she's the older Suzu's subconsciousness. She says she's Suzu's heart from her childhood. But as we learn in this chapter, she's also the reason that Suzu has yet to regain a single memory of her past life up to this juncture. She doesn't remember being Shadow Mai. She doesn't remember being the other Ayakashi mediums before her. So the reason is because that is this Suzu. Little Suzu has all of it. She knows everything. So, and we get into that basically because Shirogane says she became sick of Suzu and suddenly left. And it is basically what I said. And I like that we're bringing that back because chapter 89 really screwed up something that was done very well in chapter 88 for character development. And they screwed it up to go on the hentai way of doing things. But here, even Matsuri is just like, listen, I'm going to go find her because, you know, I think I know exactly where she is and that kind of idea. And Suzu's like, well, I'll go with you. And it's like, no. How about I just go talk to, if this is still you, if she's your heart, if she's the childhood self, I met you as a kid, then, you know, like maybe she just needs some alone time. And maybe she said she's running away from you. She said sorry to me. I'm going to go and figure out what's going on. So she ends up going to, of course, the triangular torii gate. Now, a torii gate is very symbolic in a lot of Japanese culture, but this is a triangular one, and it's really cool. It's quite interesting, and apparently exists in the real world as well. And this is the place that Suzu and Matsuri first met. So to come back to the place that we first met, Inuyasha style, right? So, very good episode, great episode of Inuyasha, right? Return to the place that we first met, of course. But yeah, so the torii gate is the grove of the village shrine, and ends up finding her pretty quickly. Now, this is where little Suzu explains that it holds a really special place in her heart because it is the place that you and I first met. The reason that is that's why in her spirit world, in her inner world, that's why this is the place that she sits at, because it's that important. That's the centerpiece of her world. And so she questioned Matsuri. She's like, I wanted to be alone. I made that perfectly clear. Why are you here? And Matsuri basically said, well, I sort of, you know, want to be here with you. I want to understand why you're doing what you're doing. And little Suzu explained, she goes, I haven't given up on her. I'm just sort of like trying to cool my head off a bit because right now she's just too much right now. she's become too much of a horny teenage girl, and she's too easily swayed by her desires. And if that continues, she may even forget the most important goal, which is you becoming a guy again. And I like this aspect of this. I can praise this chapter up and down. This is a very good, well done chapter. I haven't read 91 or 92 yet, but I will say that chapter 90 here actually showcases this very well, because what little Suzu was saying, the reason she ran away are the same reasons that I despised the last chapter, chapter 89, because she, like, it's like, yeah, you just realize that you're in love, blah, 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 and it doesn't matter, you love, it's more than skin deep. And that whole message was thrown out the window because, I don't know, Suzu's just too fucking horny for her own good. She's like a nymphomaniac. I know it sells volumes and blah, 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 and sexualizing, the ecchi element and stuff in the genre, but even little Suzu within universe has had enough of that shit. She's just like, look, I know, the beach episodes and the random falling out and the bad situations that end up with people's clothes off and stuff might be all fine and good, and Shirogane yelling shameless every chapter. But this is still a serious situation. You're supposed to be a guy. And if she keeps looking at you as a girl and like she's already in love with you no matter who you are. So she's gone the emotional route just fine. The problem is if she starts becoming physically attractive and lustful to you as a girl as well, the desire to turn you back into a boy is going to become less and less. And that's the worry. This is just me speculating, but this is basically what little Suzu has been saying, is that that's what's going to happen, because eventually Suzu's, if this continues, because she recognized in chapter 88 that love is more than just, is deeper than skin deep, right? We already established that. So she's in love with a person that is Matsuri. Great, that's great. But she's physically attracted to the boy version, which is the right thing. But in this context, I'm not saying she can't be lesbian, blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm saying. But that's who she wants to be with. But if she continues to be ruled by her hormones at this point and her desires, that, hard line of, well, I want Matsuri to be a guy again so we can go on dates and blah, 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 is sort of the gray gap between that is widening. It's getting murkier, because if she continues to lust after girl Matsuri's titties, and it's going to be like, well, do you really need to become a guy again? And remember, about 25 chapters-ish ago, Matsuri was the one going, well, maybe I don't need to be a guy anymore. I'm actually, I've been happy the last little while, and part of that's due to being a girl and yada, yada, yada. And Suzu was the one to adamantly point out, no, at the end of the day, you are a boy trapped in a woman's body right now. That is what you are. So we need to get your original body back. We need to do that, right? And Suzu was the one that pointed this out to Matsuri when Matsuri was having doubts. So now that it's being reversed, that little Suzu is just being so done with the very, almost like fourth wall breaking. She's just so fucking done with the high level ichi level of shit going on between Matsuri and Suzu right now in female form, that she's just like, yeah, this can't keep going on. This can't keep going on. I need to do something drastic to say, hey, calm your tits. Literally, calm your tits. Calm your hormones, right? So that's the way I took it once again. I might be talking completely out of my ass, but from a storytelling perspective, from a romantic that I am, and I've read many, many romance mangas and stuff in the past, this is the context that I'm getting. So, and then little Suzu basically says, this is very key information, is that she ends up giving, we do have the Ichi moment with the shower where Suzu's masturbating to in the shower, which apparently, women love to do that, guys do it too and stuff like that, but showers seem to be the domain for where women do that. And we do have a little bit of Ichi moments and stuff like that, but the core part of the chapter is still intact, because little Suzu knows everything, and so she takes Matsuri back, with some magic powers, whatever, to say, like, there's another Suzu inside of you, blah, blah, blah. I want to know, I need to know. And little Suzu's like, you should know that as well. And it's pretty much is that when she was first born, she is basically, she never smiled, she never did anything. And Suzu explains it, is that an Ayakashi medium crosses through time. Of course she can't smile. With the power to control life and the memories of transfiguration, she doesn't remember all of her previous lives. She forgets everything every time she's reborn and slowly starts remembering as she grows up and usually dies around the age of 16, 17. We have been told this information before. However, something went wrong with something changed. Clearly, we don't have that information yet, but something storytelling plot-wise has changed. And you guys know I want my plot. The fluff chapters are fine once in a while, but we need plot development. And here we go. That's how it was until Mai Hirasaka. Something changed because when she was reborn as Suzu Kanade, she remembered everything from the start. All 12 lives before her. So Suzu's the 13th, but she remembers all 12. She remembers being all of them. So why could she smile? Why could she, and her first memory was of being drowned and thrown in as a human sacrifice for being a witch, for being blah, 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 right? And she says that my most recent memory was literally of being sacrificed as a human sacrifice and thrown in the river. How could I possibly be smiling? And Matsuri, it's a very serious moment, and it's like, oh shit. Like, yeah, that's a thing. Wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely got very much behind this one. I enjoyed this aspect because this explains a lot that Suzu, why there's a separation. This explains the separation. Is that Suzu wanted, like this Suzu, who's all 13 Suzus, wanted 13th to have a normal life with the boy with the sparkling eyes. Because at the end here it says, she says, I was wondering if I should destroy the humans since my family were good people this time, but she of course was very hatred, just like Shadow Mai is right now, wanting to wipe out all humanity, just not getting it anymore. Like her recent memories is of being Mai, and she wanted to destroy all humanity after her death, right? She resented everything that happened, and understandably so. So when she was reborn, she was like, yeah, I just want to take out all humanity, but what was staying her hand was the fact, and I mean, I'm sure she could do it, all her techniques and blah, blah. She remembers being all 12, then she remembers all the superpowered techniques. It's probably something we haven't even seen yet. So she basically said that the only reason that she was being held back is because her mom and dad and her brother were good people. Like, the family was nice people, and it was like, I'm not sure. So she hesitated, and then boom, when she was this age, she met the boy with sparkling eyes, who of course was Matsuri. And then that's the end of that chapter. We're going to move on right now to chapter 91, but this will be in the same video just so we can get caught up. But actually, no, you know what? I'm going to release another video. Yeah, no. I'm gonna release another one because the runtime on this one went longer than I expected. It was a very good chapter. But this review will be normal time. It'll be about 15-20 minutes. So looking at the runtime right now. So yeah, instead, scratch what I said at the beginning of the video. This is only going to be chapter 90. And we're going to make separate videos for 91 and 92 respectively, I think. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the Chapter 90 review. I thought this one already came out because I remember liking it, the plot, the development. I remember enjoying it. I thought I had talked about it. Must have got busy. That's my bad. But that's the review, guys. So definitely happy Victoria Day to all Canadians. And, of course, other people too. And anybody celebrated it, I don't know. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. As always, fourth and most importantly is to drink but responsibly, as I always do. And we will see you beautiful people back here again very, very soon for chapter 91 of Ayakashi Triangle. And we'll be eventually caught up, hopefully, by the end of the week. I have no idea. But we'll have to wait and see. So thanks, guys, very much for being patient with me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you back here next time. Bye-bye.